Hi everybody, Alistair Davis here for Transform My Golf. Today's video is all about holding those crucial 4 to 5 to 6 foot putts. What I'm going to give you here is a few technical things to practice which can help your stroke and your confidence and your belief in what you're doing technically. And also then we're going to go through a bit of a mental exercise to help you have focus and concentration when you're doing this kind of more simple task, which we all need to obviously hold more putts. We all make mistakes and miss some of these, so a simple task is going to help us really concentrate and work harder mentally when we're on the golf course, and then finish it off with a little bit of a routine that you can use on the golf course also. So the first thing I'm going to talk about really is when we're putting is, let's do the mental bit first. I'm going to talk about what's called quiet eye. Now quiet eye is about an intense level of concentration. And what we do with putting is we can put a very small dot on top of the ball. Instead of putting a line of the ball, you put a dot. And then you try and get your mind's eye and your focus to focus at a higher level at that dot for a longer period to get you to switch off from anything technical. So quite simply, from the task point of view, you would draw a little Sharpie pen dot on top of the ball, as you can see here, and even smaller in this one. I've done this one a little bit bigger so you can actually see it clearer on camera. And you would focus on that throughout the entire stroke, backswing, downswing, through swing, everything, until the ball disappears in the hole. So we set up to the ball as we would do normally, take our address position and our grip, and then all we're going to really concentrate then is on that dot on the top of the ball throughout the entire stroke until that ball disappears, hopefully. So that way it takes us away from anything kind of technical or anything kind of, if you like, rhythmical, or anything about the kind of line of the stroke, the putt, and anything like that we'd want to look at. The second thing I want you to look at within putting is maybe more of a technical station. And what you'll see here is I've got 2 golf clubs down. Now these golf clubs can become narrower, become wider, depending on the skill level of the player and also the tendencies in your stroke. If your stroke has a tendency to work what I'd call away from you, we can bring this outer line in much tighter. We can also put it on top of a T-peg to make it sort of slope upwards, as the stroke would work upwards as well and through the putt. So the idea here is we'd only put it in a place where your putter would hit it with a poor stroke, not where you'd hit it with a good stroke. So the idea would be always around that we want to be having feedback when we do something that we don't like or don't want, rather than feedback when we do something we do like. Because if we're constantly running alongside a club, the problem is when we take the club away, the tendency is for our club to veer towards where that club was, just because of a pressure point of view. So we might have this station down here, we might then take our setup, and then we might focus then on, again, the club staying in this station throughout the whole stroke. So again, let's just have a go at hitting one of those. So the putter is going to stay in that stroke, in that station. And again, if we feel visually it's veering towards the right, we can then make sure it arcs more to the left. The putter should work on an ever so slight arc, and depending how far away we're stood from the golf ball, the arc will become bigger. The further away from the ball, the bigger the arc, and the club face will rotate with the arc of the stroke. So it's going to rotate more the more we have an arc. So from a technical point of view, this is kind of managing our path of our stroke, our direction of our stroke. And what we tend to find with a lot of golfers is the face or the direction tend to be the biggest things outside the green reading and pace. So when we're talking short putts, pace is not really an issue. We nearly always get the pace there or thereabouts. We hardly ever would leave putts from this distance short, for example. So you could look at the optimum pace for each putt, but we wanted to obviously go in the back of the hole with some confidence. So we have there a technical and a mental skill. Now let's try and bring it together with a bit of a process. So this golf ball here, if we were putting this on the green, the first thing I'd want to do is get an idea which way the putt's breaking. Now when I look at this and I think of it quite simply, if the hole was full of water, which it nearly is today, where would the water run? And the water would run quite simply this way on this particular green. I can also straddle the putt and think which foot has more weight, and in this case my right foot. So this is a left to right breaking putt. Now the more weight in the foot, the more it's going to break left to right. So I'm going to be aiming this outside the left edge of the hole with a kind of dead weight putt kind of look to it. So that's my aim, and I know I'm going to aim there. So the rest of the process would be potentially hitting one stroke where I am looking at the hole, trying to get a feel for the distance it would go. Obviously in the short putts that's not as important, as we already said. Then I'm going to pick a spot just in front of the ball to aim at. Then build my stance around that. get myself comfortable. And for me, I want my weight to be slightly on the left foot when I hit a putt, about 60%. That's what I'd want ideally. And then from there, I'm going to go into that quiet eye mentality then, staring at something on top of the golf ball, and then make a stroke. Hold the finish, collect the ball out the ground. So I'm trying not to make sure my eyes move too quickly. Again, the quiet eye helps with that. You're almost trying to imagine that spot on the ball is still there after you've hit the putt, and you're staring into the ground where that spot was. That gives us good stability. Now, pre-round before you play, a couple of things I would recommend to help you form the best on the golf course. One of them would be to kind of maybe hit some putts on one leg. That gives you some good stability and gives me a good feel from a putt. I might also then do the quiet eye, and I might hit some short putts and then some long putts. And when I hit the short putts, again, confidence is the key. Have a go at these two exercises, the quiet eye and also the little technical drill, and also then the routine, and see how you get on with your putting. Post any questions or comments you have below the video if you can. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.